G shit. What up? Alright, so I actually got this like 3-step technique like about maybe a year and a half ago from Quasi Joe here over at Reality Creator. Shout out. In terms of just like the principle of the opening, right? Hands above, and then kind of like going down. I personally iterated it to make the T pose a part of it that you consciously practice as well. And this 3-step opening technique is very simple, right? You start at the top, right? And I actually recommend doing this standing up, but I'm kind of just sitting down, 1 for the video, and 2 because I like to sit here on the grass. You know what I mean? So yeah. And so, you know, you can do this standing up. I like to do this walking, you know, like when I'm walking and I just like want to get some air in, get some breath of God into my lungs. Because, you know, we all need a bit of the love and the life of the source at times when we're feeling a bit down. Or when we are just feeling a bit up and we just want more, you know? Yeah, both times. And, you know, when I'm like walking and, you know, the cars are driving by and they're probably thinking I'm a crazy person for doing this, that's when I feel the most free, you know what I mean? Because it means despite what those people think, and they're right, I am crazy, I can at least be open. So that's what I want to help you do. So let's get into it. It's very simple. So I want you to just do this with me, okay? So hands above your head, and we're gonna close our eyes. You can trust that my eyes are closed behind these sunglasses, okay? And I want you to take a deep breath with me, okay? Inhale. Exhale. We'll take another. Inhale. And exhale. All right, now you can open your eyes again. So now we're gonna transition. So we have like our hands above our head at first. We're gonna move to the T pose now. Now I personally, if you can like, I'll get some depth in this shot. I personally like to hit a little bit of the arms back, chest out kind of motion. It makes me feel the most open, you know what I mean? And the thing is like, we're opening our body and our physiology because the mind and the body are connected. And when we open, you know, and the spirit, of course, all these things are one. And so when we affect anything across one plane, especially with the nervous system reflects infinite intelligence and holds infinite intelligence. And so when we actively, like when we consciously use the nervous system's intelligence to actually influence our mental field, it can get us closer to, like, you know, the peace that we want to reach in our spiritual field. Do you know what I mean? And have that deeper alignment across the 3 planes. The mind always gets in the way, you know, I find. And so what we do is, you know, we hit the T pose and we kind of like put our arms back a little bit. And we're gonna do 2 deep breaths like this, okay? So close your eyes. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And you can put your arms down. And then we do kind of like 2 more in this final position. And the last one is especially important because always for the last breath, regardless if you do this like, you know, I like to do this sometimes just like 1 breath each, you know, and sometimes I don't like to hold the position like so strictly. I kind of just like do it as 1 fluid motion, like 1 breath here and then another breath at the T pose and then, you know, final breath here. And when you really are trying to like kind of like do that nervous system reboot, that's when it's especially important to make your final breath especially conscious, especially as deep as you can. And the thing is, this is gonna take work. I can do this very easily now because I got some breath work skill, baby. But like I said, it's a skill. And you can improve it over time. And the thing is, you want to not breathe from your chest. Like most people are chest breathers, and that's okay. You can practice this. I was 2 years ago, it's all right. But as you consciously practice, okay, like where does my breath stop when I breathe? You can kind of find it in your chest, and you kind of just want to like just push down a little bit. Basically do progressive overload with how far your breath can go, and eventually how to get as far down to actually breathe from your diaphragm correctly will kind of just start clicking for you. It's kind of hard because unless you've been training for it, it's hard to just breathe from the diaphragm rather than from the chest. And the thing is, you're always going to be not as like you won't ever get as much airflow, right, from just breathing from your chest, because your breath comes from here. That's why you want to breathe from like your stomach. That's why singers are trained to breathe from their diaphragms, because that's how you actually keep airflow. I can't lie, bro. I've done a lot of yapping in my life, bro. When I started practicing singing last year, I was already doing breathwork for like a year, and I was like, yo, dog, no BS, this singing shit is another game. I'm like, what? That shit was crazy. Like, I could not really sing for more than like a minute and a half, and it was like, damn, this is fucked up. Like 2 minutes really, like, plus really had me like out of breath. I've gotten a lot better now. But as I was saying, for that last breath, it's especially important you go as deep as you can on the inhale, and that the exhale is also as slowly as possible, and this one has to be through the mouth. The other ones you could do, exhale through, you could do inhale or exhale through the nose. I prefer to just always inhale through the nose, and then I'll do exhale through the nose most of the time. But the very powerful thing about exhaling through the mouth is that it basically forces your exhale to be as slow as possible. And physiologically, when you take in, like, your inhale is longer than your exhale, it typically triggers your sympathetic nervous system, which is your fight and flight. And so it usually, like, this is why, like, if you're like when you're running, you're trying to get more air in and keep it in. You feel what I'm saying? And that's triggering to your body, oh, okay, we need to use this for something. You know what I mean? But when you want to slow down and be calmer, you actually want your exhales to be longer, because you're trying to release. Oh, wow. Whoa. Taking in, releasing, inhale, exhale. Whoa. Push and pull, masculine, feminine, butt, metaphysics. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's cool, right? Awesome. And so if you want to just do those 2 final breaths with me here, I'll show you. My eyes are closed for this one, right? Inhale. I forgot to tell you the breath tech. Okay. You actually want to breathe out through your mouth, basically like you're blowing through a straw. So, like, perch your lips and make it like an O, like a very small O, and basically like you're blowing into a straw. That's how you basically exhale for as slow as possible, and you manipulate the air, right? Okay, awesome. Let's do that deep breath, all right? So as deeply as you can. And exhale. Yes, this was good. You can open your eyes when you're ready. All right, so that is the technique as like a whole. Now, let's do it like very quickly, all together, so you can see just how quickly this is. I mean, just how quick this is and just how powerful it is. And like, you can literally do this in like 20 seconds, and it's like so fucking OP, I swear to God. Okay, awesome. Hands above your head. Inhale. Exhale. T-pose. Arms back, chest out a little bit. Inhale. Exhale. Arms down. Inhale as deeply as you can, and on the exhale, make sure to breathe out slowly through your lips. Inhale. And exhale. And if you haven't already, I want you to stay just present right now. Just keep your eyes closed. And look inside of your body. Where is there tension in your physical body? Or even in your nervous system in general, in your emotions? But especially, where do you feel any pain or any tingling, any sensations in your body? Tap into those things. When you close your eyes, you actually give more perceptual power to your other senses. And when we close off some of our physical senses, we give more perceptual power in general to our metaphysical senses. And so when we're looking at our inner world, it's especially powerful to see what's in our physical bodies and then look and see what those reflect in our metaphysical bodies. I can, of course, help you with that in my window inserts. But just right now, look and see, where do I have any sensations? Where am I tight? Where am I feeling contracted? Where am I feeling expanded? All of that is information about your inner world. And over time, collected information starts expanding your awareness. And from greater awareness, we can take greater action. You can open your eyes when you're ready. So yeah, that's what's it. I hope this video served you well. Ah, shit.